Hey everybody, how you doing? So we're back in the kitchen, and what I wanted to do today is, because a lot of people still are asking, give me an example of the food you eat. I just eat food. It's just good, healthy food. And remember, because I'll always tell you this, I am a bachelor. It means, at least for me, it means that it's a no muss, no fuss kind of thing. So for me, cooking is perfect. I enjoy cooking, but I don't get extravagant. If you like to get extravagant, please, by all means, go for it. But what we're always talking about is understanding that the food you eat is about giving nourishment to the body. It's about giving the body what it needs so that it can heal. It's not about, oh, it's got to be unbelievable and we got to have 5 courses and we have to have dessert, and it's gotta, your body doesn't want all that. It just wants enough so that it can heal itself. So we have a tendency, in the Western world especially, to just overindulge in too much stuff. So what I'm gonna show you today is something, it's really a staple of what I do. So I make a lot of salads, and right now it's the middle of winter. Today it's February, and we just got about 3 inches of snow, 3 to 6 inches of snow on the ground. So a lot of people, they go, ooh, salads during the middle of winter? I need something warm, and no, you don't. So anyhow, so to expedite this video, what I'm going to show you today is, I guess we could call it Dave's Mega Salad, really. And with all my salad, with all my vegetables, I always have protein, right? So we always want to make sure we're having good quality protein, good quality vegetables, and some good quality fat. And then from there we can look at things like nuts and seeds, and we can look at a little bit of the right kind of complex carbohydrates, usually in the form of something that isn't a grain. So maybe some legumes, or maybe things like sweet potatoes and yams. And yams, well, that's a whole other story, but these yams aren't really yams. But we call them yams in America. They're not really yams. Yams come from Africa. But anyhow, long story short. So what I did today, here's my normal bowl that I make it out of. I don't know what that is, about 1.5 quarts. So what I have in here is just some mixed greens. And by the way, I literally, before I started this video, I just got back from the store. So I'm going to come in here for a minute and let you know. Remember our juicing video that we did? Well, in the sink, see if I can zoom in there, besides my teapot, there's all my vegetables that are soaking right now in their water and apple cider vinegar bath, and then I'll drain those, and then I will rinse those in another bath of cold water, and then I'll kind of dry them all out, and then put them in their plastic and put them in the refrigerator, and I'll pull from them to make all my juices and basically to make my salad. So those vegetables are getting 2 different uses, yeah? All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. So I cut everything up already to expedite this, and I got my little cutting sheet here, and I'm just gonna scoop it up. So into my bowl with my greens in it, and there's probably, I don't know, what's that, a handful and a little bit more, yeah? So it depends on how many people you're making this for, right? And then here I got some cherry tomato, by the way, all organic, right? And then I have some green olives with pimentos that I cut up. And here's some organic cucumbers. And then organic carrots for color and from good crunch. Now I'm not going to do it today, but a lot of times I'll get this is the only kind of apples I usually do are Granny Smith apples, because they're low glycemic. That's why they're kind of on the sour side, but I love them. And so a lot of times I'll just take half an apple, dice it up, and throw that in there. Or if I'm not using an apple, sometimes I'll use other types of low glycemic berries, things like blueberries and boysenberries. Just depends on what kind of mood I'm in, as the song goes. And then I'm going to take a little bit of organic raw pumpkin seeds. So what's that? I don't know. You tell me. Do you think that's about 1/4 cup? Yeah? That feels about right to me. And then what I'm going to do for a little treat today is I'm going to use some goat cheese. So I won't use regular cheese because of the issues with with the milk that's coming from cows, with the intolerances to it. And if you do have a lactose intolerant, I think we've told you this before, but you'll probably also find that you have a gluten intolerance. They pretty much go hand in hand. If you have one, you usually have the other. Not always the case, but most of the time. And so that was about a little over 1/4 of a cup. We're not going to use a lot because it's still dairy. It's just dairy from goat. And sheep milk and goat milk is much closer to the genetic makeup of and genetic profile of human milk. So that's why that's going to be easier. It doesn't give me any kind of issues, but if I have regular cheese from cows, then I have gut issues. And then what I did was I made my own salad dressing. So I always start with my apple cider vinegar. As long as it's organic, I'm perfectly fine with it. I like using Bragg's. As they say, it has the mother in it, which is that really cloudy stuff, which is where all the enzymes are. So I use about 4 tablespoons of this. If you want to use more, you can. And then some olive oil is going to go in there. Not much, because we already have fat that's coming from the salmon that I'm going to put on it that you see right here in front of you. And there's some fat in the cheese, and there's some fat in the pumpkin seed. So I don't need to use a lot, so I'm just going to use a little bit in there. Let's say that's, I don't know, what do you think? Half a teaspoon worth, right? And then from there, what I'll also use is, which I already put in there, was I put in just a little bit, like half a teaspoon of organic, raw, non-filtered honey. So I'm mixing that up, and usually I take the honey out. I keep it in my fridge, so I'll take it out ahead of time and warm it up. That's why it's already in here and it's been warmed up. So there's my salad dressing. Now, you could always use lemon or lime, squeeze a fresh lemon or a fresh lime instead of using the apple cider vinegar. And now what we're going to do is we're going to top that with this beautiful, well, I don't know if you can see it with that. I see that light shining on it. But that really nice piece of salmon. So that salmon, I'll throw that parsley in there. That salmon is a little bit bigger than the thickness and palm of my hand. Yeah? So this is, my guess is this is probably about 6 ounces of salmon. And that's pretty much perfect for me. So I just put that right on top. Beautiful, beautiful. And then from there, my salad dressing goes over it. And that's really it. So that's a meal for me right there. We'll just kind of, let me do this. Let me bring it over here. And we'll do a little reveal. Where is it? It's really hard to do this whole. So there it is right there. Yeah, I'll back out a little bit, I guess. There you go. So that's really it for me. That's going to be my lunch. Now, some of you might say, oh my God, Dave, that's a lot. I could never eat that. So eat half of it. You know, again, I eat a fair amount of food because of the amount of working out I do. So that might be too much for you, right? Eat half of it. 3 ounces of salmon and about half of what I made here. Now, here's something else that I do. Because a lot of times I'm at the studio all day. Most of my days, Monday through Friday, I'm there. So I bring all my food with me. And so what I would have done is I would have made this salad in the morning, and then I would have already had, so like here, you can probably see, I'm cooking the rest of the salmon off. So tomorrow I could get up and just reheat some of that salmon that I need for the day at the studio, make enough salad, probably almost fill this bowl so that that salad's full. And then a lot of time, remember, I'm a guy. I'm a guy. For me, I don't need a huge variety of different meals in my days, right? I mean, I can do it, but I don't need it. So for me, food is very practical and utilitarian in the sense that this is what I know my body needs to be strong and healthy. And then variety, in a sense, comes after that. And I do make sure I get variety. But the idea here is that I'll walk out the door in the morning, I'll have breakfast here, I'll have my big Dave's Mega Juice, green juice here in the morning. So breakfast can be anything, right? It doesn't have to be eggs, but sometimes it is for me. But a lot of times I'll have salmon. So tomorrow morning I might just have some salmon, and you know, I have some broccoli in the refrigerator, or I can put a little salad together if I wanted. Doesn't matter to me. So that could be my breakfast. And then I can bring something like this in a sealed glass Tupperware to work with me, and I'll eat that throughout the day. So I'll bring enough so that I can use it for a snack, I can use it for my lunch, and I can use it for my second snack midday. And then when I come home, I'll have something completely different for dinner. Does that make sense? Now listen, again, you don't have to do it that way, but that's a lot of ways I do it because it's very practical for me. It's easy. I don't have to get to work and think about it and go, I don't have any food. Okay, let me go out to a restaurant. That's a bad idea. You're spending more money than you need to, and it's usually the food's not that great, okay, for you. Probably tastes really good, but it's not that great for you. So that's really it. That's Dave's Mega Salad with salmon. You can do this with chicken. You can do it with turkey. You can do it with steak. You can do it with lobster. You can do it with anything you want as far as a protein-wise goes. So you can make your own salads up. But guys, this is so simple. It literally, to cut the vegetables up and put it together, takes like 15 minutes at the very most. And to cook off whatever you're cooking off, it depends, but the salmon, I can do another video on the salmon, how to do grilled salmon, but really simple. Since I have it here, so I have a frying pan. I put, a lot of them, the recipes say use olive oil. I like to use coconut oil because it has a higher flash point. I don't like using olive oil or any other oils like that and getting the heat, getting it too high. So, but you put the oil in, you get it nice and warm, or not warm, but hot, so that when you drop some water in it, it'll pss, like this, yeah? You don't have to pour water in it, just take water on your fingers and do that. It'll pop and crackle, and you know that it's hot enough. Usually somewhere around 2 minutes or 3 minutes. And then after that, you're taking your salmon, and again, this is all fresh, wild-caught salmon that was flash frozen. So I took it out, I washed it under cold water, and then you pat dry it with paper towels, which is really important for pan searing, because you want to get all the water off there. And then I salt and pepper the skin side, and then the flesh side, and then I put it in the pan and I press it down so that the skin is getting seared. You want it skin side down. I cook it for about 4 minutes or so, and then I use my spatula, and if I can scoop that off with the skin being intact, it's good to go. If it's coming off without the skin, I want to press it down a little bit more to make that contact and get that skin to release from the pan. And then once you can lift that up and flip it over, the skin should be nice and crispy. And then you only, not very long, 30 seconds, maybe a minute, you're going to cook the top of that off until it's a golden brown. Right? Now, you're not going to use a top to do that. If you use a top, I'm doing this for something else now. If you use a top, you're going to have too much moisture in there. So you want that without the top to make that pan sear, okay? And then as soon as that's 30 seconds to a minute, take it right off. As soon as that top is golden, take it right off. You're good to go. Shut your heat off and serve it up, okay? And that's really it, guys. So be creative in your salads. It's a great way to get raw vegetables and salads into your body. And your guts are gonna love this as much as I love your guts. Okay, so that's really it. I'll figure out something else to do in the kitchen. You're never gonna see me make brownies though. So until then, remember, I want you guys eating really healthy. I want you juicing. I want you to make sure that you're getting yourself really hydrated. I want you to make sure that you're getting lots of sleep, good restful sleep. Make sure you get rid of your stinking thinking. Get that stuff out of there. And make sure you're breathing nice and deep. And then get some exercise. So if you have any other questions or comments, you want to send me your favorite recipes. If you got an amazing recipe and you want me to come to your house, or you can come here and you want to cook it for me, I'm all for it. We can do a video together. So I'm more than happy to see some amazing recipes because, again, I'm a guy. I keep it simple. So if you want to bring some more variety and spice into my life and tell me and show me how that you're cooking, let's have some fun together, okay? So until then, can't wait to hear from you. Until then, take care of yourselves. And remember, I love your guts. Take care, guys. Bye.